Good evening, everyone. In the previous session, I explained about performance coaching and what are the various steps involved in the process of performance coaching. In today's session, I am going to explain what is coaching skill and what type of skills are required in order to become a coach. And then I am going to explain the various advantages and the basic problems related to performance coaching. Okay, so let's begin the session. So coaching skills, if we compare training, mentoring and coaching, generally people will assume that these three elements, these three aspects are almost same. But to some extent, they are very different from each other. Training is all about a particular job, what kind of skills, techniques, technology, tools, what are the different types of methods are used in order to do a job. That kind of skills and knowledge is provided to the employees, basically related to a particular job. Mentoring is more like career developing. They provide guidance, they provide proper direction to the employees so that they can understand their future in the organization, what path they must follow in order to become a successful employee. Okay, now coaching is different from these two elements because a coach uses real tasks and problems to help the learner increase his or her performance. So basically a coach gives them a real task, and they also try to solve problems which actually exist within the organization, within the department, and in that process the employees, the learner, understand how to improve their performance. So a coach provides proper guidance, coach provides different explains different types of skills required for the particular job, and the person also provides knowledge related to the job and what kind of elements are going to help the person in his or her future. So training and coaching, we can say that they are more task oriented, they process oriented. There are certain elements in training and coaching which are similar because they focus on one element. They train, they teach the employee to do their job in a proper manner, in an efficient manner, and they also teach how to improve the performance. So basically, to some extent, training and coaching are little bit similar, but mentoring is all about overall career development of the employees. Okay, so this is the list. You can see a performance coach need to play these kind of roles. The first one is a performance coach needs to become a leader who sets example and becomes a role model. So if the followers or if the subordinates, if the employees do not give that kind of respect to the performance coach, they will refuse to accept any kind of suggestion, any direction given by the coach. So a coach needs to also become a leader. He needs to set a proper example. He needs to perform in such a way that the employees will consider him or her as their role model. So that is one of the most important skill which is required to become an efficient performance coach. Okay. The next one is a facilitator. Facilitator means a person who can provide information, who can give instruction on different types of elements. That is the most important thing. And for that purpose, the coach needs to possess knowledge about different aspects, different elements, and the person must be aware each and every aspect of the job, each and every aspect of the performance, and how their performance can be improved. So that's why facilitator means the person needs to be capable enough to provide information and instruction on different elements, on variety of materials. Okay. The next one is team builder. Now, team builder, a person, a coach must also become a team builder because an organization depends upon group of people. Each and every employee must become part of a group and then perform. So a performance coach must have the quality to bring the team together, to create a team, unify a team, and motivate them to work as a team. They also perform as an individual but working as a team has more benefits than working as an individual. So he must be a team builder. He must uh, infuse team spirit within the employees and create a team which cannot be broken by any circumstances or any situation. Here, next one is peacekeeper, means he or she must act as a mediator. Peacekeeper here means that whenever people are working in a group, definitely there will be a difference in opinion, definitely there will be argument, conflict. So here the role of a performance coach is considered to be very important, because the performance coach is going to manage the group peacefully in a proper manner, must try to negotiate any kind of argument or any kind of conflict. He must be capable of resolving conflicts within the group of people and maintain decorum and discipline in the group. So that's why the performance coach need to act as a mediator, must maintain peace within a group of people. Okay, to whom the performance coach is providing coaching. The next one is pot stirrer, means brings controversy out in open. Pot stirrer means simply if there is some kind of confusion, controversy, some kind of things that people are keeping inside their mind and not bringing it out. So it is the duty of the performance coach to bring out the real feelings of the employees, what they feel about their colleagues, what they feel about the organization. He must encourage them to speak about their problems, their difficulties, so that their problems and difficulties will come out, it will be discussed properly, and then it will be solved. So whatever controversy there is, some kind, whether it is some kind of miscommunication or some kind of elements which are not letting people to perform in a better way, so those elements must be brought out by the performance coach, so that these things can be easily solved, and it will help the employees to understand the situation in a better manner, so that in future, without even the help of the performance coach, they can handle any kind of situation. Okay, the next one is devil's advocate, raises issues for better understanding. Devil's advocate means he or she must support their subordinate, supports their people to whom they are providing coaching. So they must raise issues, difficult issues which are not talked about, which are not discussed openly. So the performance coach must bring out such kind of issues, so that those issues can be understood properly and solved properly. Okay, the next one is cheerleader, praises people for doing great. So what is the job of a cheerleader? To appreciate people, to encourage people when they perform better. So that kind of role is also played by the performance coach. The performance coach needs to encourage, motivate, appreciate people, praise them when they are doing well. So that is one of the most important role of a performance coach. The next one is counselor, provides intimate feedback. So as a counselor, when a performance coach acts as a counselor, he or she must listen to all kinds of problems faced by his or her subordinates or the employees, and then try to solve their situation, solve their problems, difficulties, and then give them proper feedback regarding their performance. That is one of the most important element, because if employees are not understanding what are the mistakes they are making, what are the things they are doing exceptionally good, so all these type of feedback, both positive and negative, must be given by the performance coach. So the performance coach must also act as a counselor, listen to the problems and provide necessary feedbacks whenever it is required. Okay, so these are the different types of skills which are required to become a efficient performance coach. Okay, the next topic is advantages. What are the basic advantages of performance coaching? Okay, so the first point here says that it helps to identify the roadblocks which creates barrier in achieving the true potential of an employee. So what is roadblock? There are different types of problems, different difficulties which does not let an employee to show their true and full potential. Maybe the person is underconfident, maybe the person do not have that kind of courage to speak about his or her suggestions. Maybe the person is dominated by other group members of the group. So there are many kind of roadblocks. Maybe the environment, the working environment do not encourage people to speak about their ideas and suggestions. So the first advantage of performance coaching is that the performance coach helps the individual, helps the employee to find all kinds of roadblocks, barriers, difficulties, problems which are not letting the person to show their true potential. And after identifying all kinds of barriers, all kinds of roadblocks, the performance coach is going to understand the true potential. The actual potential of the employee will be reflected, it will be shown by the employee to the organization, and then the performance coach can easily work on the potentials of the employee, and those potentials can be easily enhanced. Okay, so that is the first advantage of performance coaching. Next one is it helps in setting practical and achievable goals. So performance coaching is not about setting a big goal, a huge goal, giving that goal to the employees and ask them to achieve that goals. But basically here it helps in setting some goals which are practical in nature, which can be achieved easily. Not that easily, but achievable in the sense that we set targets depending upon the true potential of an employee, depending upon the caliber and capability of the employee, so that it will be very practical and it can be also achieved by a little bit hard work by an employee. It simply means that, for example, you cannot ask a student learning or studying in 5th standard to appear exam of 10th standard. It is not practical. But a student studying in 10th standard will definitely appear the 10th standard board exam, because that kind of target is achievable. The person has studied for last 10 or 12 years. Yeah. Same way, whatever goals are set, it must be set in accordance with the potential, capability, past performance record, and all those things, so that those goals can be achievable by the employees and it will be more practical for the employees also. Yeah. Next one, it helps to develop new skills. So like I said, performance coaching to some extent is similar to training. It also helps the employees to learn new types of skills which will enhance their performance. So first of all, we need to identify what kind of job a person is doing and what kind of skills are required to enhance the performance of the employee. And after understanding the types of skills required for a particular job, required to enhance the performance of an employee, then those skills can be easily taught to the employees. Okay. The next one is it helps to identify and maximize the strengths of the employees. So first of all, performance coaching is all about identifying the strengths of the employees and then maximizing those strengths. See, here they are focusing on strength. First of all, find out the strength of the employee, and we are going to make these strengths more stronger so that the employee will be extremely efficient in certain area. So for example, in a particular subject you are doing very good, so definitely if you are directed in the same, in the proper direction, if a person is very good in technical area, very good with computers, so definitely that person must go for computer engineering or MCA. That is the right path. But if the person does not have that kind of technical knowledge, if that element is not a strong element for the employee, then unnecessary putting the student into that area will create a lot of problem. So identify the strength of the employee first and then try to motivate them to polish their strength, enhance their strength more and more, so that their performance will be automatically improved. Clear? The next one is it helps in developing tools in overcoming weaknesses of the employees. So first step here it says that it not only helps in maximizing the strength of the employees, but it also helps in developing certain tools which will help the employees to overcome their weaknesses. See, a person having different types of strength does not mean that the person won't have any weakness. So if our strengths are very strong, it does not mean that we will overlook our weakness. We need to focus on our weakness. We need to overcome our weakness. A student is not good at communication skills. That is his or her weakness. So that weakness, the person must overcome that weakness by understanding different elements of communication skill, by giving presentation, by listening to different presenters, attending various seminars, which will encourage the person to go and have proper communication skills. The person won't have any kind of fear related to public speaking. So in that way, the weaknesses can be easily overcome. So the next point here says that it helps in greater understanding of wants, needs, and desires of the employee. Now, when the performance coach communicates with the employees as a counselor, as a leader, it becomes very easy to understand the desires, the aspirations, and need requirements of the employees. So, after understanding the desires and aspirations, it becomes very easy for the performance coach to guide the employee in the direction in which, by following the direction, the person will definitely achieve his or her personal goal, and it will be easy for him to achieve his desires, fulfill his desires and aspirations. So performance coach is not only about enhancing the performance of the employees, but it is also about understanding the actual requirements, actual desires and aspirations, so that the employees will get some kind of job satisfaction if they are directed towards the path in which they can achieve their desires and aspirations. So performance coaching also helps in understanding the basic requirements, aspirations of the employees. Okay. The next one is it helps in sensing, identifying, and understanding the emotions and reactions of the employees. So it also helps in understanding the emotions of a person, how they react according to different situation, and those emotion and reaction, it provides necessary information to the performance coach. It tells about the mental stability of a person, the behavior pattern of a person, and by understanding these elements, a performance coach can understand what kind of skills are required in order to improve their reactions, in order to control their emotions. So for that reason, understanding emotions and reactions of the employees are very important, and these elements can only be understood by implementing performance coaching within the organization. Okay. And the last one is it leads the team towards success. So basically, a performance coach coaches a team. Okay. Now, all the above advantages, it speaks about how to understand the barrier, how to overcome the barrier, how to set practical goals, how to enhance the strength, how to overcome the weakness. If all these elements are successfully implemented while performance coaching, definitely the entire team will lead to or will become successful. Whatever task, whatever job is given to them, they will complete it successfully, and the team will become a successful team. And this is only possible when they have a good performance coach who tries to understand the emotions, the reactions, the strength, weaknesses, each and every element of all the employees. Then only the team will become successful. So, okay, so these are the important advantages of performance coaching. See, even though performance coaching has different and many advantages, it does not mean that there are no problems or disadvantages of performance coaching. Here are the three causes of problem. These are the three elements due to which problems are created while executing performance coaching. So the first, or we can say first problem with the performance coaching is that expectations or requirements may not be communicated adequately. So it simply means about feedback. So as individuals, what is the method through which we can motivate ourselves without the help of anybody? It is all about feedback. When we are given proper feedback by our seniors or by any superior, we can understand our weak points, we can understand our strength, we can understand in which area we need to give more focus. So if that feedback is not appropriate, is incomplete or not consistent, then it will definitely affect our performance. So here it says that the result of performance coaching depends upon the type of feedback provided to the employees. Now this feedback must be based on facts. The feedback must be consistent. The feedback must be positive as well as negative. It's not that we will simply appreciate the employees about their good things or about their uh, better side, but it is also about providing feedback related to some of their weaknesses, related to some of their negative aspects, so that they can understand what are the areas in which they have to give more focus, they have to focus more. Then only those areas can be properly developed. So expectations or requirements, if these are not communicated adequately to the employees, we cannot expect the employees to reach to the standard performance. So if there is certain kind of expectations from the organization's side, sorry, if the organization expects some kind of performance, some level of performance, that needs to be also communicated properly to the employee. If there are expectation, it must be properly communicated. We cannot expect our employees to perform extremely well, to stay even after working hours. If we want them to do that, we need to communicate those things to the employees. And if we are not communicating it properly and still having expectations, then definitely our expectations can never be fulfilled. So in this area, the expectations of the management must be properly communicated to the employees, all the employees, and the feedback related to their performance, related to their behavior, related to the activities in which they are involved, must be properly communicated to the employees, so that they can understand what are their positive aspects, what are their negative aspects, what are their strengths, how to make the strength more and more stronger, how to overcome the weakness. So after getting proper feedback, they will be self-motivated. Okay. The next one is lack of motivation. So performance coaching also motivates, but why there is lack of motivation? Why? What kind of problem it creates? See, we always hear that we must keep our personal and professional life separate. But actually, it is extremely difficult. If we are facing some kind of serious issues and problems in our personal life, that is definitely going to affect our performance on the job. So in that area, we need more and more motivation. Proper counseling, proper communication is extremely important in order to motivate someone. So the basic problem in performance coaching is they more focus in providing proper direction, instruction, and other things, but they need to focus more on counseling aspect, motivation, try to understand the emotions of the employees, try to understand the personal problems of the employees, so that we can motivate them in a proper manner. So if a person having personal problem and we are not trying to understand it and we are giving them negative feedback, the person will be demotivated. Instead of getting motivated, the person will be demotivated. So first of all, we need to understand the basic problem of the employees, and then we can help them to overcome their problems, solve their problems, or we can also help them to keep the personal and professional life separate. So that's why if motivation is not provided to the employees, definitely performance coaching cannot be fruitful. The next one is shift in focus. Usually due to various types of changes in outside or external environment of an organization, within organization many changes take place, minor and major. Now these changes can also change the type of job a person is doing. For example, the level of authority and power you used to have, now you don't have because of restructuring of the job. And so for example, your duties are increased, your area in which you're working, you are shifted to another area. So if these new elements are included in your job, it will definitely hamper your performance, it will definitely damage your performance. So usually what happens when different kinds of changes take place, our shift focuses from one area to another area, and that affects our performance in a negative manner. So whenever there is some kind of change, this shifting of focus, this process must be implemented gradually. We suddenly cannot make different types of changes, and suddenly we cannot ask a person to completely change the type of work he or she is doing. So different types of changes must take place in a gradual manner so that the employees can understand the change and they can adjust according to the change. Okay, so these are the basic problems that usually reduces the effect of performance coaching. And in order to make performance coaching more and more effective, the organization must focus on these elements so that the performance coaching will give proper result. Okay, so this is all about the topic performance coaching. In the next session, I am going to explain about trading, what are the various methods and how it is going to help in HRD. Okay, so that's it for today. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.